Hello everyone, the name's Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town, and I'm here to react to another video. But this time, you guys have voted on my last poll saying that I should react to Game Theory's video again. But the title itself is very interesting to me. Nurse Joy is a Pokemon? Hold on, wait a minute, just a second. You mean to tell me if Nurse Joy is a Pokemon, meaning that everybody in the Pokemon universe is actually a Pokemon? Including myself? There was one episode where I turned into a Pikachu once. That wasn't fun. But this proves my other point. How the heck did Nurse Joy manage to get through every Pokemon Center across many regions that I ever traveled? I wonder where you're hiding, Nurse Joy. Come on, you can tell me. But don't worry, I'm pretty sure that MatPat did his research and he's gonna get to the bottom of this. And me too, because I'm very curious. This is a job for Detective Ash Ketchum. I'm about to solve another mystery involving Nurse Joy appearances.
This is a Pokemon. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar, that's a picture of Nurse Joy, one of the most famous, most beloved characters to come out of the Pokemon anime. I mean, this is a character who dates back to like episode 2 of the series, so she's been kicking around for a long time. And sure, she looks like a human, talks like a human, behaves like a human, but by the end of this video, you're gonna be convinced that Nurse Joy is in fact a fully catchable Pokemon. Roll that intro!
And she doesn't age either. Yet you guys are questioning me on how old I am. Ask her how old she is.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, the show that wants you to tap that subscribe button like you're trying to skip through some NPC dialogue. Also, as we kick things off here, it's worth mentioning that today is actually a double feature for all you Poke fans. Right now, over on Food Theory, I'm actually analyzing what Pokemon humans in the game universe are most likely to eat. Are they devouring Kabutops kebabs, Snorlax sauce?
Oh god, he has another episode. Alright, I'ma save that for the next episode, but I gotta get through this one. He said this is a double feature, so I'm gonna get in double trouble. Thanks a lot, Team Rocket. You're gonna make me question about Nurse Joy and her overall diet. Sometimes MatPat scares me, but we're gonna get through this video, trust me.
Patties? Not those. Those! It is literal Pokemania over here, friends, so once you've watched this one, make sure you click on over and check out that one too. The results of that video are, surprising, to say the least. But on to today's game theory. While we were all busy worrying about how old Ash really is, or whether Ditto's related to Mewtwo, Nurse Joy has been the anime's secret.
Yeah, come on, let's go, let's figure her out.
Decades. As a brief recap for those of you who are unaware, Nurse Joy is the character responsible for running all the Poke Centers of the anime universe, and over in the game world, she appears in both Pokemon Yellow as well as Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which is
she is everywhere.
This one being a game theory. If you speak to any Pokemon fan and ask them to describe Nurse Joy, I have no doubt that you'll get an immediate and detailed response. Much like Ash, Misty, and Brock, Nurse Joy is just one of those iconic characters with an iconic look. Pink and white nurse's outfit, blue eyes, and striking pink hair that curls in the front and forms 2 large hoops in the back. Like I said, simply iconic. There isn't a single other character that looks anything like Nurse Joy, except for, well, you know, all the other Nurse Joys. You see, Nurse Joy isn't just one character, but in fact hundreds, thousands, all identical and all running various Pokemon centers throughout the Pokemon world.
There's so many
in the
copies!
Sense, this is obviously meant to be a joke about how games often put an identical healer character in all the towns that you visit. But the in-universe lore explanation is that they're all related to each other. It's something that we hear as early as episode 2. While Team Rocket is busy destroying the Pokemon Center, Nurse Joy is transferring all the Pokemon there over to Pewter City. We see another Nurse Joy on the other end of the video call explaining that all the Pokemon arrived safely, to which Viridian's Nurse Joy replies,
I did remember that scene. The first Nurse Joy that I ever met had transferred all the Pokemon there to the other Nurse Joy in another city. But they look exactly the same! That's what I don't understand.
Thanks, sis.
So they're sisters. All of them are sisters? Well, not entirely. When visiting the Orange Islands, Ash and company encounter a Nurse Joy who claims to be
the second cousin of the sister-in-law of the Joy in Saffron City.
And that's kind of an explanation, I guess? Just because you're related doesn't mean that you're gonna look this much alike, especially when you're dealing with different parents in different parts of the world.
Nurse Joy.
It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You know what makes a whole lot more sense? That they're all Pokemon. In the Pokemon world, identical children is actually the norm, not for humans, but for Pokemon. Look at this army of Pikachus, this flock of Pidgeys, Ash's Charmander versus Richie's Charmander. They are practically interchangeable. Every Chansey in every Poke Center in pretty much every episode, they all look the same.
Well,
and if Nurse
that's
Joy
true.
was
Look at it.
also
They
a
all look
Pokemon,
the
her
friggin'
legion
same.
of identical family members would make much more sense. But you know that I wouldn't be making this episode if that was all the evidence I have. That, my friends, is just the start. The thesis. By the end of today's episode, you're going to be convinced that Nurse Joy should be getting an
Oh,
entry
she
of
is a
her
missing
own into the
Pokemon, and she
national
better
decks.
be.
First, I want to point out that not only are all Nurse Joys practically identical, they're also all female.
Yeah, that
This
is
would be
weird.
a
They're all
weird,
girls,
highly
not
improbable
guys.
event for humans, but for Pokemon, it's actually the expected outcome. In episode 28 of the Diamond and Pearl series, we meet Paige and Marnie, two daughters of a Nurse Joy, which actually reveals Joy to
Oh
be their
my
last
God,
name
my
rather than the
memory
first name.
just
Never really
slipped.
thought about that one. Anyway,
There
Paige
was
and
that
Marnie
Nurse
Joy.
Joy that actually
Anything
became a
unusual about-
mom, and all she had was daughters that look exactly like her. Whoa. So, what is this? It's like a human version, and uh-oh. Does that prove the point that humans and Pokemon are one and the same? Because I remember hearing that statement from another video that I watched a long time ago, and they did state that humans and Pokemon are one and the same when it comes to the Pokemon universe. So that probably might explain why I didn't age? Or am I a secret no. Oh, no. I'm not redirecting the attention to me. The attention is going to be for Nurse Joy only, okay? Oh, I'm losing focus.
These two, they're identical to their mother. We even see their father, Karsten, in this episode, and yeah, doesn't look like anyone took a dip in that gene
Oh,
pool.
God, he does
Normally,
look
when you have a
different.
child, that child shares half their genetic makeup with the mother and half with the father, resulting in a look that's roughly a combination of the two. With Nurse Joy's kids, though, that's clearly not the case. And guess where else we see
Where?
this happen? In Pokemon species.
What?
Back in Gen 2 of the games, we were introduced
Whoa,
to Pokemon
okay,
breeding.
tell
and
me.
when you breed two Pokemon together, the baby will always be the same species as their
Are
mother.
you
Not
serious?
only that, but the babies will look just like a smaller version of their parents. I mean, look at that little guy. Oh, how cute is he? Oh, you're so cute. Yes, you are.
Pikachu,
Oh, you
wow.
were so cute until you got retconned by Pichu. Yes, you did. Sorry,
And I call myself distracting. MatPat is also distracted by Pikachu. But you know what? Most people like Pikachu these days. They really do. I want to blame you, MatPat. And I want to blame myself. So, we're both distractables.
where was I? Oh yeah. So if Nurse Joy was in fact a Pokemon, we would expect all of her children, regardless of the father, to be mini versions of Nurse Joy, which, go figure, is exactly what
Oh.
we see in the anime. Instead of it being a statistical improbability, it actually would be the expected result. And like I alluded to earlier, it also explains both kids being female. The
Also, they kind of transfer that logic of Pokemon breeding into the humans, which in this case is mostly Nurse Joy. But I'm pretty sure it might apply to Officer Jenny too.
introduction of breeding in Gen 2 also brought with it the introduction of biological sex, because Nidoran male and female from Gen 1 didn't count, apparently. And as you would expect, most Pokemon have both male and female variants, but there are a few species that are only one sex, all entirely male or all
Right.
entirely female. All female Pokemon include the likes of Jinx, Kangaskhan, and wouldn't you know it, Chansey, Nurse Joy's ever-faithful medical assistant. So, with Nurse Joy's all being female, she's either the luckiest genetic coin flipper ever, or the much more likely scenario, she's actually a species of Pokemon that just doesn't have a male counterpart.
I wonder what it's like if Nurse Joy happens to be a man. I don't want to think about that. I remember a couple of times that me and my friends would actually help out in the Pokemon Center, and apparently some of the male friends that I got, they dress up like male Nurse Joy, and they look good. They look great in that uniform. But when it comes to me, I'm not gonna talk about that. Nurse Joy, you better be a Pokemon.
In other words, the way Nurse Joys look and the way they reproduce all align closer to Pokemon than they do with humans. But obviously there are some exceptions, right? Brock, the anime's biggest Nurse Joy expert, has the ability to notice slight differences between them. And yeah, there are also slight variations within Pokemon species, like between Ash's Pikachu and Richie's Pikachu. This
Oh,
would
right.
explain the small differences that you see between different Nurse Joys. But then,
Yeah.
what about this? Nurse Joys that are different in more than just
Whoa.
their eyelash length, like we see in Black Black and White and Sun and Moon? Well, they're shiny and regional variants of the Nurse Joy Pokemon. Back in Gen 7, the Hawaii-based Sun and Moon games introduced a new Pokemon mechanic, regional variants, where Pokemon that have lived in certain environments for a long period of time have evolved to adapt to their new surroundings.
Oh yeah,
The red
I
fox
like those
Vulpix
forms.
is now
They're
found up in a
awesome.
snowy mountain, so he becomes a snow fox. Executor grows into a tall palm tree like on island shorelines, unlike their inland counterparts who are stumpy because they don't get enough sun. And I propose to you that some of these different looking Nurse Joys actually function in the same way. Case in point, in the Orange Islands, Ash and company encounter a Nurse Joy that looks identical to the mainland Nurse Joys that we've come to know, except there's one major difference. Her skin is noticeably more tanned. Now, the show tries to explain this as a natural tan because she's on an archipelago, but Sun and Moon's Nurse Joys live in yet another tropical environment, but they're as pasty and pale as I am. So if one island's Nurse Joy is tan and another island's
I really don't get it. Isn't not enough sun for you, Nurse Joy? But it's okay. Nurse Joy always looks pretty. Don't tell Serena about it. Don't even tell the other girls about it. Don't even tell Go about it. I mean, what? Okay. Let's keep rolling.
Nurse Joy isn't, then what's the difference? Well, maybe she's just a shiny Pokemon. Shiny Pokemon have been around since Gen 2 and basically look identical to the rest of their species, but with one key difference: their color palette. They're also incredibly rare, which is why this is the only shiny form of Nurse Joy that we've ever seen in the entire series. So by her being a
Yeah,
Pokemon,
she
the
gotta
looks
be
are
a
explained,
shiny.
the kids are explained, the variants are explained. What I haven't explained is, you know, pretty much everything else, like the fact that she's a human who talks. She looks and speaks like a normal human using regular words and sentences rather than going around shouting her name in everyone's face. And admittedly, it'd be weird if all of a sudden she just started repeating Nurse Joy to all the trainers coming in for a quick heal. But the
Oh, thank
anime
God, that would
actually
be so
gives
annoying.
us our counterexample in the form of Team Rocket's Meowth. Living proof that Pokemon have the power to evolve
Oh,
differently
no,
when they
not
put their
Meowth.
minds to it. For those
Does
of
he
you
have
who
something to
aren't
do with
aware,
Nurse
Meowth
Joy?
in the anime physically manipulated his body to walk on two legs. He even taught himself how to speak English, and with a Brooklyn accent no less, all to try and make himself more appealing to the love of his life, Meowsy. Why? Because she explicitly told him that she preferred humans.
You'll never be human, so just forget about me.
So this tells us that Pokemon have the ability to speak clear and articulate English, if they want it. But it
Wow. Meowth, besides you being a villain for the past 20 years, you did alright. And it's not just you, Meowth. There are a couple other Pokemon that do that too. Well, maybe the speaking part, whether they speak through their mouths or telepathically, it might make sense. But how in the world did Nurse Joy actually become a human? That's what I really want to know. Unless Mew has something to do with this, or Ditto has something to do with this. Maybe those two collaborated to even make a human experiment, but nobody's saying about it. I'm gonna get to the bottom
certainly
of
doesn't
this.
explain the other elephant in the room, the fact that she looks human. No amount of willpower is gonna turn Meowth into something that doesn't look like a cat. And that
Oh my
seems
God,
to be the
Meowth, you
deal
look so
breaker for
cursed.
today's theory. She can have all the identical siblings and tiny female versions of herself that she wants. She can't be a Pokemon because she doesn't look like a Pokemon. Theory busted. Or so you might think. The actual explanation for that lies in the past, both for Pokemon and for this channel. Now, first, I'd like to call out the fact that humanoid Pokemon do exist. Jinx, Mr. Mime, the Machop family, all of them are like an evolutionary stone's throw away from clocking in for a 9 to 5 and settling down in the suburbs. But we don't even have to extrapolate that far. All we have to do is turn to the lore. 7 years ago, I covered a theory about how Pokemon and people used to be one and the same. We've
What
come a
did I
long way
say?
since then.
What did I freaking say? Humans and Pokemon are one and the same. See, I told you. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't. No. Oh no. Oh no. This is getting scary. Pet, this is not even Halloween anymore. You still scare me with these theories that make sense and I love it. Okay, hold on. Let's continue.
And gained a lot of new subscribers, so rather than forcing you to go back and watch the cringe that is that video, seriously, please do not go and watch that one. I'll instead just recap
You're
what you need to
tempting
know
me.
here.
I'm
Firstly,
gonna
we
go
have
watch
various
it.
Pokedex entries, almighty sources of knowledge throughout the Pokemon world, which draw a direct connection between humans and Pokemon. For example, Frostlass's entry from Pokemon Sun reads,
The soul of a woman lost on a snowy mountain possessed an icicle, becoming this Pokemon.
and that's just the tip
Whoa.
of the human-shaped iceberg, where Frostlass, as well as other Pokemon like Yamask and and Phantump are spirits of humans, Kadabra's entry is something else entirely. Quote from Pokemon Fire Red's Pokedex,
It happened one morning. A boy with extrasensory powers awoke in bed, transformed into Kadabra.
But what
Here we
about
have
Abra? You
explicit
skipped that.
proof of people turning into Pokemon. But what we need now is the flip of that. We need Pokemon turning into people. And for that, the Diamond and Pearl
Right.
games have us covered. You see, in Kanalave City, there's a library. And in that library are a number of books that speak to Pokemon myths and folklore. Number 3 carries the particularly interesting quote, "There once were Pokemon that became very close to humans. There once were humans and Pokemon that ate together at the same table. It was a time when there existed no differences to distinguish the two." They ate together at the same table, you say? Sure, sounds like one of those ye olde euphemisms to me. But the fun doesn't stop there. If you look online and find the original Japanese for these, they can literally be translated to quote, "There once were Pokemon that married people. There once were people that married Pokemon. This was a normal thing because long ago people and Pokemon were the same."
Oh my god! Whoa! 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 Wait a minute! Maybe that's why some people on the internet really do shit Pokemon and people together! Oh my god! Married? Huh? How does that even work? How? I don't understand! Nurse Joy! Nurse Joy, look at me. Nurse Joy, no. Come back from the Pokemon Center. Take a break. Take a break where you're overworking. Come over here. Let me talk to you straight. So you mean to tell me that you are a hybrid between Pokemon and a person? And maybe you multiplied into different Pokemon Centers because you are destined to be a nurse? The same thing with Officer Jenny. I'm getting right to you too. Maybe that's why you're always paired with Growlithe. Maybe that's why Nurse Joy is always paired with Chansey. We don't know the actual human counterpart that actually makes up Nurse Joy as a whole. But this, I told you, humans and Pokemon one are the same. And it's scary. Hold on. Let me go scream to the void. I almost fainted. I get it. 'Cause Pokemon faint, you know, I gotta stop telling these jokes. This video is driving me nuts. Okay, let's finish this.
Pokemon and humans looking and acting the same, marrying one another? Like maybe perhaps a nurse, Pokemon Joy, marrying the husband, human Karsten? But the final piece of evidence here is from Folktale 2. Quote, "Here lived a Pokemon in a forest. In the forest, the Pokemon shed its hide to sleep as a human." I mean, this
What?
right here. This outright shows us that not only were Pokemon and humans one and the same, but that Pokemon had the ability to become people. 7 years ago,
Are
we
you
theorized that
kidding
this
me?
was because
What?
of the human mind, the thing that
Okay,
differentiates
that makes
us
a lot
from
more
animals.
sense. I
Certain
would
Pokemon
stick
would
with this
choose to
one.
give up their special powers for the ability to grow mentally, to learn, to communicate. And honestly, I think that this is exactly what happened to the species of Pokemon we now know as Nurse Joy. And better yet, I think I know the Pokemon that chose to evolve into her. Let's paint
Chansey.
a picture, shall we? Throughout the anime,
It's
Nurse
a
Joy had a couple
Chansey.
of Pokemon companions, but none is more iconic than Chansey. And it makes a lot of sense for Chansey to be the one there to support Nurse Joy. Quote from Platinum's Pokedex entry,
A kindly Pokemon that lays highly nutritious eggs and shares them with injured Pokemon or people.
its evolved form Blissey actually
Yep,
is
that's
very
exactly
similar.
like
It
Nurse
has
Joy.
a very compassionate nature. If it sees a sick Pokemon, it will nurse the sufferer back to health.
This line of Pokemon is well documented as being caregivers and healers. They would do anything to help a Pokemon or a person. Chansey also has some interesting design features that are worth pointing out. A simple
Right.
line smile, tall
Oh, yeah.
and thin blue
Look at
eyes,
that!
iconic pink hair, which, kinda matches the iconic
Oh,
design
my.
of that favorite human nurse of ours. And also, when it evolves into Blissey, that hair becomes curly, just like that certain nurse we all know and love.
I know,
But
right?
Why
Come
would
on.
Chansey ever need to evolve
Chansey, you're
into a human
amazing,
form?
Pokemon. Why do you need to do
This
that?
way. These folktales talk of a world from long ago, when people and Pokemon were the same, but that's clearly no longer the case. Back in those days when Pokemon were all wild and they lived in harmony with people, Chansey could easily help everyone that she came across. But now that Pokemon are just seen as animals, levels lesser than humans, well, it makes it very hard for Chansey to help both humans and Pokemon. I mean, how would you feel if you walked to your local doctor and found a dog sitting there waiting to give you a shot? Making it even more complicated, Pokemon and people don't just live segregated, people now capture, train, and battle Pokemon for sports. Where before Chansey may have come across a sick Pokemon that had eaten the wrong kind of berry or something, now there are broken and injured Pokemon fainting left, right, and center. But while they're in the control of humans, Chansey can't get anywhere close to helping them. A human, though, would have the chance. So, Chansey did the only thing it could. Over time, it evolved to act like a human, to speak like a human, just like Meowth did, but it took it one step further. It began to look like a human. And with the understanding and respect from humans, she was able to build a global hospital empire that would allow Chansey to continue doing the thing that she loved most, caring for both Pokemon and their trainers, literally bringing some joy to everyone in the world. So, there you have it, friends, the secret final evolution of Chansey to the human that we've all...
Okay, hold on, wait a minute. I thought it was gonna be ugly, but this turned out to be very sad, and then a happy lifted ending. What am I to judge? Chansey, you did one heck of a job. You turned this voluntary service that you did as a wild Pokemon into an actual career. I respect that from you. I'm sorry that I talked bad. I'm very sorry. It's just, it freaks me out. But it's so cool at the same time. You use your gift to actually make it better for everyone around the world. And I could have done better without you, Chansey. AKA Nurse Joy. Now I know your little secret. It's a good purpose. The same to you, Officer Jenny. I think you fall under the same category as Nurse Joy. Maybe you were a Growlithe, but then, there's so much crime, going on, and Growlithe is very loyal to the people, so maybe you'll evolve into a Jenny too, just to protect the community. Wow. So there's no need to catch a Nurse Joy. Just let her be her. She does an amazing job as it is. So please, guys, do not take her in as a Pokemon. Please don't. She's a great Poke person.
Known and loved for decades, Nurse Joy. Kinda makes you wonder about Officer Jenny now, doesn't it? Another day, friends.
That's what I said too!
But hey, that's just a theory. One of two theories all about the Pokemon universe that you can watch right now. For years, people have been asking me about whether people eat Pokemon.
Let me pause that. No more. So there you have it. Nurse Joy is actually a Pokemon that really wants to help people. And also, I saw Game Theory actually made another video of Pokemon. But if we eat them? Oh, Lord. I bet you guys want me to watch it and make me suffer. But it's okay. I'll save it for the next episode, guys. Don't worry, I'll get right into it. But anyway, thank you guys once again for watching the video. You could like the video, you could share it with people, you could leave a comment saying what video I should be reacting to next. Besides the other video that MatPat did in the Food Theory channel, I might watch that pretty soon. Also follow the voice actor behind me, Flute VA. All their social medias are located in the description below as well. And also on behalf of Flute VA, they did say that they're almost done with setting up their Twitch setup. I can't show you the designs yet, but it looks pretty cool. So hopefully Flute VA will be able to make their debut soon for Twitch. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Catch you guys later!